Hello, my name is Ivar Slazdinch. I am Squalio's Business Development Manager, and I'm super happy to see so many guys from different locations joining our webinar about defending your network with Microsoft. Here are people starting from Estonia till Malta and Cyprus. And Malta is important since this webinar is organized together with our local Malta's partner, Image Systems. About today's plan. So the webinar is divided in 3 parts. At the very beginning, I'm your host. Will tell you a little bit more about who we are and what we do. Later, bright mind from city of Daugavpils, Latvia, Edvards Grebeš, cyber infrastructure team lead will tell you more about enhancing your infrastructure with Microsoft Defender XDR and Sentinel. And later, our cybersecurity portfolio manager, Jānis Ginebergs, will let you more details about penetration testing insights, important techniques, and many more. About me, who I am. Some of you have already seen my name in your mailboxes. Some of you I have met and give the handshake. My name is Ivar Slazdinch. I'm in the field for more than 12 years, and I am your local partner in Malta and Cyprus. Plus Estonians, guys, Tere, you also have seen me supporting your sales directors in the deals. So happy to see you guys also here. About Squalio, who we are. So Squalio is a global company with a global reach and working in more than 25 years with different vendors, like 500 plus vendors, and present in a lot of European countries. More about our services. This I will divide you in 6 parts. So first, important thing is licensing. As I mentioned, 500 vendors, but Microsoft is a real cornerstone of it, and we are, since it is so important, we are not selling only licenses, we are also providing services like infrastructure services, and we do it wherever you are. Is it on-prem, cloud, or hybrid? We are there to support your migration, make an updates according to the best practices, and etc. Plus, we are also doing cybersecurity services, things like vulnerability assessment, till red team testing, and also in portfolio are many more, but at the moment as interesting and popular topic as NIS2. Today we will not cover these topics in details, but if you will join and follow our information flow, you will most probably in some of our next sessions will learn more about services like AI, where we do also Microsoft paid workshops to showcase what the tools are available and are they available to you. The same as the next chapter and cornerstone is item services, consulting services, deep expertise regarding your existing solutions and how to use them with a greater benefit. And the last but not least is data and compliance. Basically, it is starting from GDPR till Power BI, and the right moment, really interesting and hot topic in our customers' Fabric. And the most important part, and we are coming closer here, are our experts, and our experts are certified from cybersecurity services such as CISP till all the vector most important certifications from Microsoft, because to provide you the seamless service and to inform about most important and new things, we have to know it first. So yeah, that's the important part. But now I will give sharing possibility to the bright guy from Daugavpils, who I know for already, I believe, 4 years, and let's pick up his brain regarding XDR and Sentinel. Edwards, the stage is yours. Please share your screen.
My name is Edwards Grebes. I'm IT infrastructure solutions team lead, working like quite a while and helping different customers regarding different topics like cloud environment, on-premise environment, doing assessments, also security assessments. As you could see, I also have some certifications, from Microsoft. And so, like today my topic is regarding Microsoft Defender XDR. So we often hear this service XDR, but what exactly is this XDR? Because like Microsoft Defender XDR consists of a lot of sub-products, as you can see here, and we will go through each of them, and also there will be some mini demo regarding Defender for Cloud Apps. So the first one is Windows Defender and Defender for Endpoint capability. So basically, as you know, when we have this Windows workstation, we have built-in Windows Defender antivirus. We could actually manage it using GPOs and the Intune. In the GPOs case, we don't even have this visibility as an example. So for Defender for Endpoint P1, which is included in these licenses, what you could see here, we get central management of antivirus. We could see is the definition updates are up to date. We could also use this called attack surface reduction capabilities, which includes different kind of defenses, how we could add upon on existing Windows Defender, which is built in the workstation. And also one important thing, so basically Defender for Endpoint is not the same as a built-in Windows Defender. When we onboard devices to Defender for Endpoint, it adds additional advanced threat protection service, which is running on the device, and it's communicating with Defender for Endpoint. So then we have Defender for Endpoint P2. Basically, it gives us, the main thing is vulnerability management, that we could see software, hardware vulnerabilities. We could use automated investigation and response. What exactly is this this automated investigation and response? For example, if user opens some kind of, malicious URL or opens malicious file, when we have built-in Defender, we will get this, in the right bottom corner, this toast notification that some kind of file was blocked, and that's all. But when we have this automated investigation, after clicking some kind of file or opening some kind of process which is malicious, automatically using this advanced threat protection service starts automated investigation. Basically checks registries, services of the files, also network, maybe connections, and what is in the same subnet. And also, this is not the same as quick scan, full scan. This is different technology, not using, utilizing a lot of CPU and RAM. Basically happens in the background. And why it's very useful, for example, if I have, 10,000 Windows workstations or other operating system workstations which are part of Defender for Endpoint, for me, as a, for example, security person, it would be impossible to go through all the alerts. That's why automated investigation help us. So it has two outputs: remediation required, which means something else was also find it after this automated investigation, or no remediation required, meaning that there was only this file execution, and we don't need to spend time to check on this. Also, we have a lot of recommendations how to improve the security, not only telling us, okay, you need to disable, SMB v1, but it also gives opportunity to understand how we could implement it using, registry, SCCM, Intune, AD, GPOs, based on what kind of infrastructure we have. And this solution also supports a different kind of onboarding. It could be used when we have Intune. It could be used when we have SCCM, and maybe co-management. We could could also use it for the workgroup computers, and we could also use it when we have, I don't know, hybrid or maybe only Active Directory. We have to manage these rules and so on. And as you can see, there is a lot of platforms which currently supports this solution. Yeah. So the next thing is Defender Vulnerability Management add-on. So basically, it's like standalone thing which like also adds additional capabilities on Defender for Endpoint. With this add-on, we have possibility to check and create like security baselines, design it like these benchmarks based on different kind of operating systems and OSs. And we could also check network share analysis. We could check browser extension assessment. For example, like if we have like a Mac OS with Safari, or I don't know, like Mozilla, Chrome, like all the browsers, we could get inventory what extensions, if they're allowed in the organization, are users using. For example, if someone using password manager or so on, which of course is not the best practice. Also, certificate inventory, more related maybe to the servers, yeah, because like for the workstations, if we use these client authentication certificates, which we in most cases are used for the, for example, Wi-Fi authentication or authenticate against custom services, or like using this SCCM, and of course like hardware and firmware assessment. The next thing is Microsoft Defender for Cloud. And so basically Defender for Cloud is security with which we could onboard resources in Azure. It could be storages, SQLs, key vaults, containers, app services, and so on. And we are like connecting them to Defender for Cloud. They're like subscription based, yeah, and we are paying with Azure credits. And it also shows us what recommendations, how we could like put this security hardening on different kind of Azure resources. And of course, the solution works at subscription level. So for example, if I have one tenant or maybe a lot of tenants, a lot of subscriptions, I could use this service on the subscription, onboard the resources. And also when we onboard create this service, we have 30 days like this trial, yeah, and we could also check how it actually works and what are the benefits. Next thing is Defender for Servers P1. In most cases, we recommending to use this service when there is a lot of servers on premise. It could be Linux servers, it could be Windows servers, and so on. And basically, like to get servers into this Defender for Cloud, we onboard them using Azure Arc Agent, which is free. And then use this P1 license. As you can see, it's like $5 server per month, but it's meaning like if server is running 24/7, then it will be this cost. Also, when we onboard the servers to this P1, it also automatically gives us also Defender for Endpoint P2, which you saw in the previous slides, and we get all the capabilities same as for the workstations. Of course, there should be and there is some kind of differences between maybe Linux and Windows. Yeah, for Windows there is more capabilities, of course. But there is a lot of recommendations also how we could improve security of the servers, use automation, and also secure the perimeter around the servers. Defender for Servers P2 is used more when we have cloud infrastructure. It could be in Azure, it could be in Amazon Cloud or the Google Cloud. And it gives us same thing like as the P1, but with additions like adaptive network hardening. We could see all the connections, like like the map of who is connecting where, and perform security hardening there. We get file integrity monitoring to check, I don't know, like registry settings or things in the system 32 folder, which are like in most cases used maybe by attackers to check if there's some changes or someone are trying to get to these registry entries or edit them and so on. We get just-in-time virtual machine access that we don't have open ports all the time, and like this is like least privilege method when we only grant access to specific users in the specific time. Also, adaptive application controls to control what applications could be executed and could be running on the servers. And as you can see, of course, like this includes $50 per month. But of course, there could be cases when we have including the servers in the cloud and the servers on premise, and then we could mix, because there is possibility to enable these features at the resource group level. That, for example, on-premise servers will be using P1, cloud servers will be using P2. Yeah, and also I'm reducing the cost and using maximum effort and all the possibilities. Next thing is Defender for Office. It includes two plans, P1 and P2. So P1 in most cases protects emails and collaboration features from zero-day malware, phishing and business email compromisation. It has like real-time detection. We could also configure safe links, safe attachment policies in the Defender portal and to protect email flows. For the P2, additionally, it gives us phishing simulations that we could train users. We could, for example, create some kind of, as an example, malicious email, send it to our internal users, and to check how they are prepared maybe for such kind of emails. Do they click and authorize it and so on, to understood, do we need some kind of user training, security training, and so on. Yeah, and it also included in this P2. We have also attack simulation trainings and automatic investigation and response, which is some kind of similar to Defender for Endpoint automated investigation. The next product is Defender for Identity. This solution mostly relies on Active Directory, ADFS, federated services, or Active Directory certificate services servers. Also, Microsoft added additional option to connect Entra Connect servers. So what is the idea of this solution? Basically, we have servers on-prem. We install agents like Sensor, Defender for Identity Sensor there. And there is like built in about 80 different kind of rules which are related to attacks which these attackers do, like enumeration of domain users, DNS tampering, or like performing some kind of actions to get this golden ticket, trying to escalate something with their radius, and so on. And basically, the idea is that we install the sensors. Of course, we have to configure prerequisites like additional auditing with the specific things related to each of the server what we are connecting. And also, it like works in the real time. That basically, if someone tries to, I don't know, use the user to enumerate or getting some kind of there's actions related to this Kerberos ticketing, you will immediately have the incidents. Also, we have these action accounts. So basically means, for example, if I'm not at work, I'm maybe out of office, but still I get notification that someone is trying to do something with the user or the AD host. I could connect to Defender portal and execute action from there, not even connecting to through this VPN maybe, and getting to the server, which will have like I will need to spend a lot more time. But I could connect to Defender and, for example, disable user, which will like be in the 2 to 3 seconds, and I will stop there, for example, some kind of execution. Also, we could create like these honey tokens. I'm calling it like a traps. For example, we could create specifically regular user, which is called admin, or I don't know, like SQL admin, but it's a regular user. It's not used anywhere, just to have this user as a trigger, because as you know, when someone tries to find something, they use the trivial methods in the beginning, maybe to try find some kind of admin. Even if they find this, it will be regular user, but I will see that there is like some kind of actions across this user. And we could like create this some kind of traps. We could also have how to say VIP users maybe, which is high privileged hosts or servers, and yeah, to use it this service. Of course, like maybe we couldn't like create own rules. Yeah, maybe it will be possible in the future. And also we have the reports, yeah, of the summarization of all the things what is happening on the servers. The next thing is Defender for CloudOps, basically the solution to help to understood what software as a service applications are used in my environment. So there is like publicly known a lot of applications like WhatsApp, I don't know, like TikTok, GitHub, and so on. Everything has own category. And with this tool, we could integrate it with Defender for Endpoint, for example, if we onboard devices like workstations, and then I could actually see the report of the usage, what applications are used, what is the traffic, who used application, and so on. Then, based on this information, I could, and this dashboard, I could define and define my next steps. Maybe I want to block option to use same maybe ChatGPT if no one has the license. Maybe I want to disable, I don't know, like TikTok or some kind of other gambling websites which are identified that users are using browser or desktop application. That's why I could use these tags. So basically, if I have integration with Defender for Endpoint and all the prerequisites are met, when I tag application as unsanctioned, I will block it at the users, like from the user's perspective. And the main also benefit is that, of course, like we could use firewall for that to block it. But what happens when the user leaves internal firewall, and if we don't have also always VPN on? He will go to home, connect to, I don't know, home Wi-Fi or mobile data, and he will be able to access it. When we have this tag unsanctioned and we have integration with Defender for Endpoint, which works with this advanced threat protection service, it will not work. They will not be able to access from any browser, from desktop and so on, because we just block the this URL, like destination URL, and that's all. Also, there is option to create like this for review. We could use monitor. So basically, when user access application, which is in our scope as monitored, they will see before the accessing to the application that we know that, for example, organization will know that they access this at what time and what there was the data flow there. And yeah, now will be demo. So basically, we are now at Defender portal. You see that I have cloud ops, yeah, and this is like dashboard. I could actually see what the traffic is, what applications was used, and you see like this green is like how to say, it's not it's sanctioned that I am allowing it, and also applications which are unsanctioned, meaning that someone tried to connect to this. Still, there was traffic, but they were not able to connect. I could also see the user entities. I could also see from which location was authorization done. Regarding Cloud App catalog, you see there is a lot of applications. So basically a lot of like 35 different thousands. Each of application has own this category. For example, nowadays quite popular is this generative AI. So we could see like this Copilot, Bing Chat, ChatGPT, and so on. But not all of these applications are safe, meaning that when I connect devices, I could actually see the usage. And maybe if I have Copilot license, for example, I only want to allow Copilot, and I will block all the rest of the applications, like tagging them as unsanctioned. And each of application also consists of data, like when it was published, though it complies with the security, does it have like this with ISO and so on. And based when we connect the things, then we could actually see the usage and then think of the next steps, what to block, what to monitor. And not only we could connect like devices, like how to say workstations, we could also connect firewall. For example, if I have custom, I don't know, like internal Wi-Fi, and I could send logs through the syslog to this portal, and I will have the same dashboard. And then I could generate block scripts based on the unsanctioned applications and import it to my firewall appliance and use the same rules. So combination of two things, not only blocking at device level, maybe also securing things at the firewall level. Yeah, so also regarding Cloud App, so we have like different scenarios. So we see different policies created here. And so basically, this is like use cases, what we used for the specific like customers. They're like created from scratch. And basically, there was a thing with customer that actually like they saw that users are connecting, for example, on to SharePoint Online, OneDrive Online, Exchange Online from home using maybe unmanaged device. Of course, like we don't want to allow this. And in most cases, we are blocking this. So because this is like there is a risk of data exfiltration and so on. But they still had, they wanted that, for example, we allow access from unmanaged device, but we block actions at the application level, because we could use conditional access in most cases. Then we allow or block access to specific places, or allow if they met our criteria. For example, they need to use this MFA, the device should be compliant, and so on. Like with Defender for Cloud Ops, we are going deeper, that we could allow access for application. For example, you see that I have a list of applications and which are onboarded based on the users which are using these applications. And then I'm telling that, for example, I'm blocking download option from unmanaged devices, but they still could access, for example, SharePoint Online, but they will not be able to download this file to unmanaged device. So I'm blocking option, and will not be in the situation that some kind of data will be exfiltrated, but the user is still able to connect, the user is still able to edit this document, and so on. So and how it looks like in the real situation. So basically, I have SharePoint, I have user, and also our device from which I'm now connecting is not managed. So basically, it's a managed device. Second to approve MFA. So you see, this is like workgroup computer. And also, as I mentioned, I have monitoring in place that, for example, they're accessing this from the device which is unmanaged, and this message could be customized, or we could also do not use this, like turn off. So from the documents perspective, for example, I have some kind of document. If I want to download it to unmanaged device, I will get this message. So I couldn't do it. If I want to upload something, same, different policy. It's same, I couldn't do it. Okay, I could open it in the browser session. I could edit document. For example, if I want to print it, for example, same. I get this error that I couldn't do it, but I could actually work with this document in this session. Now, so you could see there is like this SharePoint column and this Microsoft Cloud App Security proxy. So basically, it goes through my policy, goes through the Defender for Cloud Apps. So this was the one use case. We could also block copy pasting and use also integrations with third-party applications. So it depends, and create exclusions, includes, excludes based on the users, based on the devices, and so on. So there is a lot of capabilities. And we had also another use case that users wanted that, for example, when we have like also on managed device, there is option for me to use OneDrive. And I actually could authorize into OneDrive with my work account from a managed device. And the risks are that same, I will get the files from my OneDrive. I will also maybe could input some kind of things to upload to the OneDrive if we don't have a block specific file types there. So, and we created policy as an example that if I'm trying to add my work, this is like you see the same account, it's my work account, which has license to OneDrive on unmanaged device. So I will try to sign in. The same steps. I will have MFA in place. If I have conditional access. So you see, I get to the screen. So okay, I will allow to manage or no, it doesn't even matter. So if I click OK, I get this message. So you see that the Defender for Cloud Apps blocked this action, and I could click this, try again, but I will still get the same error. And from the policy perspective, we could also, and these like incidents and things are like monitored and created immediately. So basically, you see block from unmanaged, which we just did live with this user already. We have the incident, and we could also have notifications in place. So this is from the demo part. Going back to presentation, the next thing, this is also not the part of Defender for Cloud. So we have these enterprise applications, and in some cases when we do like audits, Microsoft 365 assessments in the customer's environments, we see a lot of enterprise applications, because by the default users are allowed to consent for some kind of application. And like when I use my Microsoft account, when I authorize somewhere, it asks me, so so this application could work, we need to have this, I don't know, read profile, read email, and so on. This is like specific permissions at the application level. When the user consents to this application, it shows in your Enter ID in the enterprise application. So you see the users, you see the consent. And if the default settings are used, we end up with a lot of enterprise applications. And as you know, like a year ago, 2 years ago, the thing of attack was just sending custom links to users which are consenting for some kind of applications. That's why we could use app governance to monitor and see what applications are used, what are these permissions of these applications, and it could help us to understand, do I really need this enterprise application, like to perform this assessment and cleanup. Then I could create configuration that, for example, the application is the consent will be allowed only for administrators, and if someone needs it, I could create specific group to the ones who will be using it. So this help us to also secure this enterprise applications thing, reducing unnecessary permissions in our Enter ID. And the next thing is Microsoft Enter ID protection. So it's basically when we have like P1 AD, we have these risky users, risky sign-ins, and we could like see which one is like tagged as a risky user, or risky sign. There is like also built-in logic in these rules. Like for example, if I'm connecting like from Latvia right now and I'm connecting after 2 minutes, I don't know, from Canada, of course it will be as an impossible travel, and probably I'm not the one who is trying to authorize. And when we have P2, which is part of E5 license, then we have this, we could create conditional access policies based on the user risks or risk-based management from the also Microsoft purview. And the idea is, for example, if I have internal application, which is configured that users could connect through enterprise and using their own VPN, which is this application proxy service in Enter ID, I could create conditional access. For example, if user connecting to business, high business, maybe important application, and their risk is medium or high, the access will be blocked because probably they're not like the ones who are connecting to these resources. And I could play with it. I could also define locations, define compliance policy with the device, specific networks, and so on. So there is a lot of these signals what we could input in this conditional access. And actually, it's working with this risky users. So basically, we're not allowing to connect if the user risk or sign-in risk is very high. And and the last thing, which it is not like related to Microsoft Defender XDR, but this is like Microsoft Sentinel, which like stands also at the one line with the XDR. And in most cases, for customers, we are integrating these two solutions because Microsoft Sentinel is same solution for collecting data across all the like perimeters. Like it could be on premise, it could be firewalls, it could be servers, it could be third-party solutions, because there's a lot of third-party solutions. And then we, based on ingested data, we create analytic rules which are triggering incidents. We create workbooks, automatizations. So now, so the main thing how we compare maybe this CM to other CMs is that we define the cost. Because if I have servers, firewalls, and I know what data I need to send to this log analytic workspace, which is database which Sentinel is using, to get most effort, to get good visibility of the security, generating alerts, and so on. That's why I'm creating filters and ingesting only data which is needed. And also that's why I could be the one who is optimizing the cost, and also using maximum of these logs to prevent some kind of security breaches and so on. So thank you. This was like all from my side, and I'm giving a word to Jānis.
A little bit about me. I will talk about more about cybersecurity from the penetration testing perspective. And what's penetration testing is, it's verifying whatever your infrastructure, if it's built on Microsoft or hybrid or whatever solutions, is quite strong enough to protect you from these bad guys who want to steal your data, to use your computers for Bitcoin mining or just whatever they decide to do to gain some economical value without like paying to you, but using your your infrastructure for this. Yes, but as I mentioned, I am cybersecurity. I'm in cybersecurity for more than 20 years. Worked in as an auditing as a cybersecurity chief cybersecurity officer in a commercial banking sector, and last 5 years participated in more than 100 penetration testing exercises. So the things what I will tell you today is about the real experience from the field. What we found out in the infrastructures around Europe, because we are doing penetration tests not only like in Latvia, but in other European countries also. So yes, and what is our experience in penetration testing? Of course, first and most popular is this web page penetration testing we are doing, but we are doing also not only just simple web page penetration testing, but there are also more complex services as internet banks, ERP, CMR, custom CMR, is developed for like a company's internal and external use, so we can do such a tests also. And for such a tests, we are our penetration testers not using only automated tools, but they have experience in writing custom scripts in Python or Go languages. These are most popular languages today. So to test these things in the complex business logic tests and so on. Of course, mobile apps and devices, and as we are speaking about mobile apps, this related API interfaces. Of course, then we have done on-prem and cloud infrastructure tests. Not only standard infrastructure servers, printers, what is like in a standard office, but also special industrial equipment tests, for example, boiler rooms with SCADA systems and industrial control systems. And sometimes during these engagements, we are also doing this physical access pen tests. You can review your basic physical access things. We can check your access card security. Maybe it can be easily copied and used by these malicious actors and so on. And also, of course, Wi-Fi networks. So it's a wide range of penetration testings we have experience and we can provide to you. Then going back to the findings from this. These tests from the previous years, I will speak mostly about like last 1.5, maximum 2 years findings, yes, because the cybersecurity is changing, the risks are changing all the time, and then it's more interested to know about the top risks because this cyber criminals also is looking for this so-called low-hanging fruits at first, and that's what you must pay your attention to fix the first. Yes, and these are like a top 5 things I want to speak today. It's cloud services, it's infrastructure services, whatever they are in the cloud or on-prem. It's infrastructure as a hardware things more, not hard, but yes, VMware is something is a layer on the hardware, yes, but whatever. It's about that infrastructure, and then of course there is one of the top web problems. Then we will show a small demonstration how it can be exploited easily, and yes, and some words about credentials. Okay, let's go to the first topic, cloud. About cloud, there is a lot of things about cloud. Also, my colleague told you a lot of good things that you can gain when you are switching to the cloud solutions. But there is one thing I want to mention, because a lot of customers still think that, oh yes, these large cloud providers, they are providing pretty safe environment, and if we are just moving our servers to the cloud, then we will be safe just by default. No, guys, it will not happen in such a way. You are still responsible for your servers in the cloud. If you are not using that cloud infrastructure in a full scale, like a service provided from the cloud, something like a database or whatever, or as mentioned previously, Entra ID, then of course, yes, that service, it's a cloud provider's responsibility to make the service secure. But if you are just moving your virtual machines to the cloud, you are still responsible for the security of these machines. You are removing these physical security concerns from you. You don't care about data center security, who can access physically. Nobody can steal like your physical hardware or data storage is from your either servers or backup devices. But yes, you are still responsible for configuration of your servers, and if these configurations are unsafe, if these servers are not patched and not protected by good enough firewalls and so on, then them are these low-hanging fruits for these bad guys. So yes, cloud provides a lot of more options for you, and that's good, because also in the cloud you must not like buy the expense licenses, long-term licenses. You can just buy that protection service for 1 month or either shorter terms and so on. Yes, but you must know about it, and you must have or in-house or consultants, this experienced cloud experts who will provide the protection for your servers. Because in a lot of penetration tests, we have found out that the servers in the cloud is just more insecure than they were on this on-prem systems, because on on-prem everybody knows that firewall must be configured. On the cloud, a lot of people think that cloud firewall is already pre-configured. We don't care about it. It's not so. Okay, next big thing is still a problem, and I can also explain why. There is a lot of applications around the world, a lot of applications in your infrastructure that was created years before. Millions of euros were spent into the developing of these applications. So the applications can't be replaced just in one day. And sometimes with this lack of IT resource, IT workforce around the world, sometimes if you have a budget, you can't just buy these programmers to build that new version of the application. So you must deal with a lot of applications that can be upgraded, then must be run on the outdated servers and so on. But there is, and some of these, maybe some servers can be updated. Look for the cloud options, because, for example, in case of Microsoft, if you are moving some servers to the cloud, you still have a support for the systems that don't have any support in case of on-prem installations. check this. Of course, it's not about very old systems, yes, but so these are these things that are highly vulnerable in a case, and there what is main these problems? Yes, these servers are unpatched. The code also contains a lot of vulnerabilities, but because during that time, like 10 or 15 years ago, there were no such good frameworks as it's today. That eliminates a lot of web-based vulnerabilities, and there is a lot of well-known vulnerabilities that can be patched, like these blue keeps. For the Linux systems, I want to mention one thing, and usually admins forget it. It's these administrative tools like OpenSSH, what is used for access to these servers. And these tools, admins think that, yes, we are using them for years. Why we need to update them? And then Linux systems also are not updated for years sometimes because these are Linux systems. Nobody wants to attack them. It's absolutely not true. SSH and these Linux systems are targets because if you gain access to that Linux systems, you can move laterally into your network and gain access to your Windows server, encrypt and then just ask you for the ransom. So it's just another attack vector. So that means that yes, also is this outdated Linux OpenSSH must be patched regularly, especially these services that allows administrative access to the systems. And another, yes, decommission is of course the best way, but in a lot of cases is not appropriate way. As I mentioned, there is like a lot of concerns where you can't. So isolation and think about zero trust approach. Zero trust approach means isolation doesn't mean you have created a server segment where you put all these servers, yes, and them are isolated. No, isolation means that your outdated system is absolutely isolated from other systems. So one server, one network segment, or a local firewall or whatever. Just isolate all these systems from each other. Okay, let's move over further. WordPress. WordPress is one of the mostly popular websites content management system used all around the world. In a lot of cases, WordPress is good system. It also provides a lot of built-in security solutions to provide mitigation of this over top 10 risks. However, there are also a lot of problems with WordPress in plugins. Usually, WordPress provides that plugins functionality that you can add additional functionality not provided by that main system. You are adding the plugins to your, they are adding additional functionality. Everyone is happy, including these bad guys, because a lot of these plugins contains vulnerabilities. And if you are updating the WordPress system, plugins are not updated automatically. You need to update them manually. Sometimes these new versions of the plugins are not compatible with your WordPress version, so you do think, not a big problem. Let's stick to that old version and move forward. So yes, but these plugins is one of the hackers' target. Usually, they use these plugin vulnerabilities in plugins to gain access to your WordPress system. Then install a password. That password then later is reused just to access your internal systems. I will tell you about the password problem in one of the next slides. So yes. Regarding if you are using WordPress, not only your WordPress must be updated, but also plugins. Plugins is key to the security. Everything must be up to date on these WordPress systems. So yes, then we are coming to the passwords. Passwords, and if we are talking about the passwords, it's not only our observation during our penetration tests that a lot of systems, especially Linux systems or especially these privileged accounts have removed complexity requirements, have set up this flag, never ask for a password change, and so on. And the passwords are used for years, and sometimes for like 10 years can be the same password used for the server. And these bad guys knows that thing. And how are they exploiting it today? On the internet, you can find a lot of databases with leaked credentials. With leaked credentials, that means these are not only passwords, but combinations of username and password. And you think that, yes, these are outdated credentials, but people are not changing these credentials for years. They are reusing the same password on multiple systems and services around, not only for work, like for private use and so on. And if your access to the servers lacks multi-factor authentication, it's a big problem for you because also your admin accounts, your service accounts can use these outdated passwords that can be found on the internet, and sometimes they can be related to your admin, who maybe his password for some Chinese web shop closed 10 years ago leaked some time ago, and he is using the same password to access the servers into your infrastructure, or maybe it's using on the GitHub account, and on that GitHub account he is storing secrets for your infrastructure. So yes, password policies is still important today, but it's more important like to create these strong passwords and add these additional factors, add multi-factor for all the accounts, whatever you can, move to that Windows Hello functionality, because it also adds additional layer of security and so on, because passwords is one of the most popular attack vector today. Just these bad guys just finding out passwords on the web and reusing them on your systems, on your servers to gain access. Some more things about web development I want to mention. As I mentioned previously, a lot of old systems are have a lot of vulnerabilities, but in today's, if you are using some standardized frameworks to create that web pages like React and else, these frameworks have built-in prevention for a lot of these attacks. OWASP top 10 attacks can be prevented just by using all the built-in functionality. But sometimes these web developers don't want to use that functionality. They want to be creative and they are just copying code from whatever else. We have found not on only one the pen tests that page looks very safe and so from all the aspects, and then 3 forms are not protected. Injections can be made. So yes, these developers just copied the code. And that's why injections can be used still. And this is the top problem, is that cross-site scripting. Nowadays, it's not SQL injections. They have been more protected, but yes, cross-site scripting, sanitization is that input user is still a thing. And there I will show you short video. Just a form on the website is not protected. Content is not checked for malicious input. And so, yes, and the user are inputting something, but that bad guy can redirect user with this form. Like a legit form can easily redirect the user to his malicious site where malicious script is run, and then with such a injection in that form, user thinks that he is coming to that legit website. As you can see, it's easily doable with tools available on the internet to everyone. Also, that payload in such a case, in this case, our penetration tester used payloads that can later run it from that user context, just send all the keystrokes to his server on the internet. And so you do think that that cross-site scripting is something like, yes, they will redirect to that site, but we don't care about it. But they will use this your site, and maybe if in your site there is a login functionality and user tries to log in that your site, then all this login data will be sent to that malicious actor and can be used later to access that user's data or to go later inside the system. So yes, XSS or cross-site scripting, and that is one of the biggest problem. Last words from me. Successful pen test. Everybody wants to test everything with minimum budget possible. Sorry guys, it will not work in such a way. If you are creating a large scope, mostly automated tools will be used with minimum manual work. If your application is not like doesn't have a custom business logic, okay, it's is the fastest way to go. But if you have a custom built business logic, it's better that the business logic is tested manually. So narrow the scope and ask for these manual tests of the business logic. Focus on these key risks. Also, regarding methods, I always recommend to go with a gray box method by providing these credentials to the penetration testers. Sometimes customers think, yes, these are penetration testers. They just they know how to break in. They will break in and then test the system. But if the system at this time has no vulnerabilities, we have a problem. We checked the system, haven't found a way how to break in, and didn't test it that business logic. So yes, if you are providing the credentials, business logic is tested, and if there are problems, they are found and later mitigated. So yes, prefer gray box tests. And yes, and schedule this for business. And as for minimal business disruption, we have experience by testing production systems, so our penetration testers can do these tests on the production systems without any problems to your system availability. Thank you.
Thank you, Jānis, for the presentation. So guys, I feel a little bit like in Eurovision due to these multiple countries, and I give 12 points to Estonia, Malta, and Cyprus, but there are three things I wanted to let you know still is like Microsoft Sentinel. We can help you. This was what Edwards was speaking about. We can help you with the implementation and with support to streamline your security risk mitigation. And if it's necessary, we can, and you are eligible, we can even secure Microsoft funding to ease the usage of it. So if it is interesting to you, just let us know and we will help you. But I see that I have 1 minute left, and then really smoothly past penetration testing. You saw Jānis, he has a team behind of him, and he can help you, to check and see your vulnerabilities to secure your environment. And of course, CISO, cybersecurity specialist as a service, is now super crucial during the NIS2 or due to the lack of cybersecurity experts in the field. Once again, thank you guys for your time. To Estonians, have as sunny time as it is in Malta and Cyprus. To the rest, 12 points to everybody. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Bye.